Hi, I'm gonna use the Art of Life tarot deck by Charlene Livingstone. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to do a general rest of the weekend slash beginning of the next week. So April 30th, May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd. General reading. I'm gonna do one deck. That one kind of want to jump. That's Temperance. The unlike is joined together, and from differences result the most beautiful harmony. That just makes me think of an orchestra, or like a really good solo artist, musician, guitar player in a coffee house that likes to play with like bongos and a flute. That was so random. Thank you for joining me. Like old Jason Mraz, or like Stephen Marley kind of thing. Like really, or in New York City. Here's another example. I don't know why this took me to music, but once in a while, when clubs were banging in New York City, there were pretty good DJs in some of the smaller clubs that would bring like a saxophone player or a bongo player or a flute, and they would just improv the shit out of the DJ, like work together, and it was awesome because you had like a live energy going on with the DJ working with the energy of the floor. It was pretty cool. That was definitely something different that went together and created something banging and new. So today is where you take two different things that don't normally seem like they should go together, and maybe you'll make some magic with that. Maybe there's something brand new. I mean, if you have one chemical formula, one energetic vibration, and then you have something completely different, and they're just always here, and this is always here, and they never decided to like get together, and all of a sudden they get together, and it's like, oh my God, what is happening? What is this? It's not gonna happen like this, right? All right, so Temperance. I didn't even start the reading yet, guys. All right, here, look at this beautiful. It's this girl. This is how we used to get clean in the summer. There used to be creeks and lakes and oceans and stuff. We didn't always have hot baths ready to go, so the girls would hike up their sexy little dresses, get their washcloths, and, wash themselves off in the creek a little. I'm sure that was a voyeur thing for some guys. But, it's kind of innocent and cute. So, back in the day, what is this picture? This picture is a woman washing her feet in a brook. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? By Camille Pissarro, 1894. 1894, that's what we were doing, guys. Wasn't that long ago. Indianapolis Museum of Art, USA. There's lots of green, purple, like mauve, pinks. This is sweetness, growth. In other cards, this is blending fire and water together just the right amount so they can create something. I don't know, what would fire and water create together? You have to put just the right amount. You could do the three bears kind of allegory to this, but this one's so much more beautiful. All right, let's continue. Let me do another card. What do we have to know for who's ever watching this to help everybody out in the whole situation, to anyone that might be involved, and anyone that might be involved with them, and them, and them, and them, and them, so that we're all brought to a place where we have more love in our life. Something like that, right? All right. Let's just draw a couple cards and see what we get for the rest of the weekend. I don't know how many I'm going to pull. I'm just going to pull a couple till I feel like I should. This is a lot for me. I feel like I'm going to be looking at them for a minute. All right, one more. All right, and at the bottom is the Four of Swords. It's a little boy or a man and his dog with his flock of sheep heading to their like little huts, right? And the quote, or this picture is End of the Day Detail by George Faulkner Weatherby. What a good name. Late 19th century to early 20th, private collection. And the quote is Elizabeth Barrett Browning, "My sun sets to rise again." Okay. All right, and then we have Temperance. So those are the base energies around now. So it's timing, timing, temperature, you know, weighing it out, not jumping right in, taking one step, sticking your toe into the river and seeing how cold it is, you know. Once you get used to it, you stick in a little bit more. You know, if you're by the creek, you can go and jump right in, but that's not what this is telling you to do. This is telling you to just move with the flow, stick the toe in. You know, if you're out and it's hot, right, and you just happen to have on your bikini and you go down to the creek and you're like, you stick your toe in, you're like, oh my God, it's perfect, then run in. I'm not telling you to go slow. Test it however it tests for you, the situation. Stick your toe in and see what you should do. Test the air and see what's going. If it's right for you to go plowing on through, you go. If it's right for you to just sort of like, you know, roam on in and observe, and that feels what's right temperature to you, then that's what you need to do. Feel this situation out, but move. Okay? It's like timing is right. It's like that time when the angel's like, shoo, shoo, we're showing you here. This is it. What are you going to do? Go the path. Which is your path? Or do you want the hot bowl? Do you want the cold bowl? Do you want the bowl that's just right? Do you need to test both out to figure out which one's good for you? Then do that. Go ahead and test the cold one. If you need to do it now so you know, then now you know that's too cold for you. So now you're going to move. I'm going to test that one. Oh, that shit's hot. No, that's too hot for me. Or maybe you like the hot. So you're like, oh yeah, I like a little steam. That shit's really hard and cold. I don't like that. I don't like my oatmeal lumpy with the things. I like it hot and steamy, and I get so excited and I eat it fast and I want more, and then I go run around the block. Or maybe that's not for you. And you're like, oh, hot, hot. I want the one that's just right for me. This one is perfect for me. Now I know. So I'm going to go with that one, right? You see how that works? You got to test it out sometimes. Or sometimes you're just going along, you're like, no, I don't like it hot. I don't like it cold. I like it like this. That's the way I'll take it. Thank you. Which way's for you? Okay, let's see what we have. Wow, that was a ramble I just did on Temperance. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands, Five of Cups, Three of Wands, Ten of Swords, the Hierophant. Oh my, guys. All right, let's see. What I might do is do another reading after I upload this with just a different deck. And then see, because sometimes your situation relates or picks up energies in one deck because those pictures give you signs that relate to that question that you're going in. Perhaps that's like, this is a love question for you, or perhaps this is like a family question for you, or a work question for you, or just a general question, you know. And then maybe you have something more specific that another deck, that maybe a general reading will resonate with, because those symbols that come up in those specific pictures in that specific deck and that specific energetic way of coming across will come up for you, because that'll give you the right signs and symbols for you to look for to come to your own answers. So sometimes it's not that the reader is bad or the deck is bad, or maybe it's just not your time to know. Sometimes we gotta go in ourselves and figure it out. But like other times, I feel like different decks have different energies at different times, and they come to you when they should. So maybe if you have a lot of situations going, one situation is good with one reader for one deck or one timing or whatever, and then your like clarity for something else comes somewhere else. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to say. All right, so let's go backwards. We have the Hierophant. All right, this is Pope Leo the 10th with 2 cardinals. After a painting by Raphael Detail and Andrea di Certo, 16th century Museo di Gallerie Nazionale di Campo di Naples, Italy. And Franklin D. Roosevelt is the old quote here. It says, rules are not necessarily sacred, but principles are. Why are you writing that book? Why do you want those messages to come across to the bigger population that can't read it or aren't allowed to have that book themselves? What are these guys questioning you about? Why are you inquiring with the people around you to know the truth? Are you going in here before you proofread it, or are you just listening to these guys and writing it out and sending it to the printer? Are you double checking yourself, or are you going by what's truth here? You want what you follow to be what resonates as a mirror from inside. Otherwise, you're following something that's not feeling right here, and you're going to have conflict somewhere. You know, you have to start here, and then that mirror will start resonating outside of you, regardless of the rules here or the rules you put inside here. You know, either way. So, rules are not necessarily sacred. They can change. Beliefs can change. Truths can change. Things can come to light, and you better change your rules. Otherwise, you're following old man's rules with new situations. You know? Sometimes the rules are good because they keep you in line and they do, you know, give structure to a certain area of your life that you need. Just double check the rules. Make sure what you're following is what you need to do. All right, because then you have the Ten of Swords. This is the crown detailed by Odilon Redon, 1910, Musée d'Orsay, Paris, France. And this is Benjamin Franklin. Those things that hurt instruct. It's like period. If there's something that's aching or hurtful or painful, it's a lesson. What do we get out of it? You know, I'm going to move to this one because these are like, they kind of go hand in hand. It's like you're thinking about all these rules, or you're thinking about the rules that you gave yourself in the past. And maybe you don't know what to do because now you're finding yourself changing somehow. It's like a change. So you have to rewrite your beliefs. That's hard. Sometimes things, you believe something your whole life because of what you're conditioned by a child or school, or, you know, you just thought it is. And then all of a sudden later in your life, halfway through your life, you're like, what? It's not anything like it is at all. You know, so that's shocking to some people. Some people get pissed off. Some people hermit themselves or get upset or try to get everyone to see the difference, and not everyone is ready to have the veil ripped off of their eyes right away. It is a different process for us all. Some take 20 years to have that veil slowly lift, and some have it drilled in their heads every day by those around them, and they still don't get it, right? And then it's a self-discovery process. Either way, just do a double check in here. You know, there's probably a little nugget of something somewhere. Some people, some situations, some, you know, areas have more nuggets of truth than others. But there has to be a little nugget of something of a truth somewhere, even in the weirdest stuff. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like hitting something here. It's just some people hit that something here that they believe, and then they go with it all. Instead of hitting the something here and taking that little out and saying, oh, that's really totally right, but maybe the rest is a little warped around that. So I'm going to take what feels good, take that with me on my little journey over here, and leave the rest of that crazy shit with you. All right, I'm getting on time here, so let's finish up and do a quick reading. 5 of Cups. This is Collar Heron Detail by Sir John Everett Milladius, set 19th century private collection. It's so beautiful. Better by far you should forget and smile, that you should remember and be sad. Your choice. All right. Because then you have the Ace of Wands here. Let it go. There's a new start. Whatever you can do, begin it. Boldness has courage, power, and magic in it. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, Ace of Wands. Check this out. This is William Blake. And then this one's the 3 of Wands. The 3 ages of women. To be what we are and to become what we are capable of becoming is the only end in life. Robert Louis Stevenson. Make your own rules. Take a step. I'm going to do another reading with a different deck. I love you. Thank you. Bye.